Right, I'm with Alan Scott from Causeway Coast, Northern Ireland, who is en route to Reading to teach and share at the Touching Heaven, Changing Earth conference. Alan, we've heard a lot about you, we've heard a lot about your ministry and participated in it. And this dimension of living life in the supernatural is a big one, and there's a lot of interest from the people who are coming along to the conference. Could you put give us 3 biggies that will help us to sustain living life in the kingdom, expecting the supernatural?
I love that question, Rob. It's always a thrill to gather with people who are pursuing the kingdom. If there were maybe 3 things then that we were thinking of sustaining that and continuing to see breakthrough, firstly I would say hunger. Hunger attracts heaven, and the book of Proverbs says that a labourer's appetite works for him, his hunger drives him on.
Yeah.
And it's recognising that it's my responsibility to stay hungry. It's my responsibility to continue to create passion around the supernatural. So that would be number 1, stay hungry.
Yeah. Well, that's great, because that's saying we can't be passive, can we?
No.
We've actually got to be proactive in seeking God's presence.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Secondly, I would say the big is in the small, so don't always look for the dramatic signs and wonders, but look for the dynamic, the things that catalyse movement in it.
Yeah.
That'll allow you to track where the Lord is already moving. At times that'll be fairly subtle,
Yeah.
and you'll want to learn how to cultivate that, recognising that it comes as a seed. It doesn't come fully grown, but it comes in seed form, and you have to learn to appreciate that the big, all of the life is in that seed. If we were phrasing it differently, we would say recognise that you don't have to get it all at once,
Yeah.
that you can get just a little bit now and keep working what the Lord has given you, developing that, cultivating that. That
Yeah.
would be a huge aspect of staying hungry and seeing increasing breakthrough, celebrating the breakthroughs you've already got.
Yeah, that's great, because that gives us that just is helpful in giving us a sense of perspective. I mean, so many people think it's all or nothing. If they don't get all, they stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. Number 3?
So look for where it is breaking in, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, press in while you're processing pain. So
Right.
you're going to hit moments that are painful. You're not going to see what you hope to see.
Yeah.
And the temptation in those moments is to back off and to cease engaging with the Father or the kingdom or pursuing that in your own life. And around our place we talk about turning into the skid, which is this idea when your car feels like it's losing traction and you feel like you're not getting quite where you want to go. The temptation is counterintuitively to turn into the skid. Intuitively what we want to do is to pull out when life isn't working quite the way we thought it might. And even though it's counterintuitive, if you learn to turn into the skid, processing the pain while pressing in, keeping going for it, especially actually where you're not seeing it, you can learn to raise the bar where you're not seeing it rather than backing off, saying, you know what, I'm not seeing healing in the area of backs. I should be seeing that. Then just raise the bar, go for it in a public space, figure out a way to just raise the risk.
That's risky.
So it's very risky.
And it takes a lot of courage.
It takes a lot of courage. On one level it takes a lot of courage, and on another it doesn't, because you're not seeing it anyway. So you've very little to lose. So you might as well fail big in that. So we call that turning into the skid.
Yeah. Okay. So I get the persistence bit of that, but you're saying you're raising the stakes. So I'm not seeing anything, so let me raise the stakes.
Yeah.
And that does something, does it? That makes us
so
more desperate.
In New Zealand recently, there's a young lad who came to me between the sessions, and he said, "Would you pray for me? I think I've torn my meniscus. I'm due for an operation this week on it." And so we prayed at the front of the church, and nothing happened. No change, no heat, no feel, nothing. Nothing happened.
Disaster.
It's like, oh. And I said to him, look, here's what I want you to do, because this hasn't worked. We're going to kick off the next session praying for the sick.
Okay.
I said, the reason we're going to do that is because I haven't seen here what I should have seen here.
Right.
So now we're going to see it break out all across the room. And so we opened the next session without worship, without anything, just by saying, stand up, some of you are about to be healed. And in that moment, I think it was between 20 and 26 folks who were healed, at least one of whom was healed of a torn meniscus.
Okay, that's
so it's learning to just say, turn into the skid. Where you're not seeing it, push in even harder.
Yeah, and treating those imposters the same.
Treating
Whether we succeed or not.
Yeah, I love that.
It's still the Lord, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alan, that's really, really helpful. Thank you so much.